Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is February the 20th, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. It was a nice Thursday. Work was pretty slow. We had some downtime. Got to chill in maintenance. That was an interesting, fun time. Things got a little political, but as much as I disagree with pretty much everyone that I have to sit with at maintenance, it is nice to like hear what they think and how they feel, and I have one coworker who's really all about, whatever Trump says, he loves it. He's like, hey, even the pain we're gonna have to endure because of the choices that Trump made, he's about it. And then he and another coworker go out, and mind you, that coworker that went out for the little smoke break, they he likes to kind of play the sides, both sides. Like, he'll come up to me, listen to what I have to say, and go, "Oh yeah, it's so crazy, world's so crazy." But then, also knowing how I feel, he will cue up the other guy in front of me, just so he can be like, "Yeah, yeah, Trump did this, Trump did that, huh?" Just and it got to the point today where I was just like, I was trying to contain my laughter. I couldn't do it. It was so funny. But I'm not trying to make a fucking scene. But meanwhile, like I said, the two of them, they go out, take a little smoke break. And another one of my coworkers, also, pretty conservative guy. He's talking to me because he's older and he keeps up with the news. Actually, they're all pretty much older. Let me just be real. Except like one guy, I think he's like a little bit older than me. But anyway, he's telling me, he's like, hey, I'm reading all this stuff that's going on. Trump sounds crazy. And I'm like, yeah, man, this shit is wild. And like, we proceed to just kind of cut it up and talk it up, because it's just like, yeah, man, like, you and I both kind of are reading the headlines, reading the news, seeing what's going on, and shit's crazy. No, like, this isn't the thing I bet you thought you really wanted, huh? Or you ordered, or you voted for, right? Because sure enough, everyone in this little bullpen has voted for Trump, except Mwah. I was with the Kamabla. So yeah, I mean, it's just funny to see how like things are gonna, progress, and how people are gonna take it. I get like literally like four conservatives type shit. It's like a vignette or something. No, it's not a vignette. Who knows? It's some kind of story thing. Anyway, work was good. Work was fun. It was nice. Let's see. Was there anything else to really pull from the day? Oh yeah, let's talk gym. Gym was interesting. I switched it up a bit. I did hit a new personal best on a couple of my machines, so that felt good. Felt good to do a couple of full stacks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I after yesterday, I don't know. I was having a thought. I was having a little think thunk, and I realized, or not even realized it. This has been a known thing to me, and it's been like almost like embarrassing. Like, I'm sure if you see me at the gym, I'm not a sight to behold. Like, unless you like a crazy shot, like I'm hitting this shit crazy style, and there's no reason for that. You know what I mean? And for 5 months, I haven't cared about it really, because at the end of the day, I'm just here to get my pump on. This is no gym intimidation space, right? So I can do whatever the fuck I want. I've seen people do worse. I don't care. So I've been hitting it like the best I can, and really just trying to like max out and do the best. I'm trying now on more machines. At least that was the take today, to do better form, and not just better form. Like, I usually do like one arm, the other arm. That's usually how I like to do it for pretty much all of my upper body stuff. But I was like, okay, let's split it. Let's do a little bit of half of what you want, which is like, hey, do the whatever form. Who gives a shit? Just fucking crank it like full as much as you can. You do one set of that, and then you lower the weight. I know, crazy. Lower the weight and do the set. Do it the way you should, with both hands. Just doing X thing the way it shows you on the goddamn diagram. So tried that today. It felt good. It wasn't as aggressive as I kind of have been since like Sunday. So I feel like I felt it a little different, but it was nice. And I think I'm going to try to keep that up, and I'll keep you posted to see how that feels, if there's any changes or what have you. I will say, a positive mental moment. I felt like I'm liking my silhouette a little bit better. I noticed that today, at least with clothes on. I gotta put that stipulation on. So I'm like, we are where we are. We're at where we're at. I know I'll never have, like, even though I've been at it like crazy, I'll never have that fantasy body that I want. But I'm happy with the progress I've made, and that feels good to like look in a mirror and be like, I know I still don't see it, but this does feel good. This does look good. So yeah, that was a W. W. But anyway, we've talked enough about myself. Let's go ahead and do the startup, and then we'll get into some news. We got a decent amount to cover. Hopefully I get through at a good clip, but I've already yapped too much. Yummy. All right, let's get into it. From ABC News. IDF says one of 4 bodies returned to Israel from Hamas does not belong to a hostage. So today was a bit of a plot twist. One of the 4 bodies handed over from Gaza to Israel on Thursday does not include a hostage, the Israel Defense Forces said, calling it a very serious violation by Hamas. Thursday marked the latest return of deceased hostages as part of the group's ceasefire deal with Israel. Israel and Hamas had confirmed the names of the 4 bodies returned to Israel Thursday as Oded Lifshitz, a journalist and peace activist, and Shiri Bibis and her 2 children, Ariel and Kiefer Bibis. After Israeli officials conducted forensic analysis to confirm the identities of the bodies, the IDF said the bodies of Lifshitz and Shiri Bibis's 2 children were identified. But the 4th body was not Shiri Bibis, nor was it a match for another hostage, the IDF said. It is an anonymous body without identification, the IDF said in a statement. This is a very serious violation by Hamas, by the Hamas terrorist organization, which is required by the agreement to return 4 dead abductees. We demand that Hamas return Syri home along with all of our abductees. So yeah, I was shocked by this. Like, I was initially going to just go live to just talk about the exchange. It already is I don't want to use the word spectacle, but definitely in terms of how this was presented, it was definitely different. Like essentially it was 4 coffins, and then you have this mural in the background, and it's the pictures of the 4 hostages. Also, I believe that the names in the hostages' faces, like pictures of them, are on the caskets. But the faces of the hostages, like pictures of the hostages, and it's like surrounded in blood. And then you pan up more, and I had to like look for this picture, and I didn't post it. I posted a bit of it in the thumbnail. I didn't want to get in trouble, so I didn't post the full thing. But the full thing is a mural of Benjamin Netanyahu, like a rendition of him, with fangs. It's like a vampire covered in blood, and like the pictures of the hostages. And essentially, it's Hamas saying it's like, their deaths are on your hands, because that is how they died. That is what Hamas is saying, that they died in airstrikes from the IDF. So it's like, yeah, this is Benjamin Netanyahu's fault. There's more to that too, but let me see here. Um, do, 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 um, Here we go. During the handover, Hamas released a statement that read in part, "To the families of Bibis and Lifshitz, we would have preferred your sons to return to you alive, but your army and government leaders chose to kill them instead of bringing them back. They killed with them 17,881 Palestinian children in their criminal bombardment of the Gaza Strip, and we know that you know who is truly responsible for their departure," the statement said. "You were the victim of a leadership that does not care about its children." Let's see, there's more here. But yeah, we more or less just talking about the potential next phases of this, but I kind of got stuck in the weeds here. The whole not hostage in the casket thing, I was not expecting that. So I don't know what's going to happen from here. The response from that could be there's no limit to it. So I don't know. I thought this was just going to be just another part of it, and then we were going to continue on. And I guess this leads me to the thing that I wanted to get to before we move on. I guess my speculation as to why is that they don't have the body for some reason, and they're like, well, this is just a body, and we'll do it, and we'll still go, because they didn't change anything, they didn't make this ho-hum, they did the whole spectacle. So I feel like they knew that this was going to happen, and they just ran it anyway. But I don't know. Once again, that is all speculation that I'm thinking, you just didn't have the body, and you just said, fuck it, we got to do it anyway. But I will definitely keep you posted on what is going to come from, what's going to happen next, But yeah, let's move on to the next thing. It is still Israel-Palestine related. From the BBC, 3 buses explode in Israel in suspected terror attack, police say. 3 buses have exploded in Bat Yam, south of Tel Aviv, in what Israeli police say is a suspected terror attack. 2 devices in 2 other buses failed to explode, they said, adding that large police forces are at the scenes searching for suspects. Transport Minister Miri Regev paused all buses, trains, and light rail trains in the country so that checks for explosive devices could be carried out, Israeli media reports said. Footage on social media shows at least 1 bus on fire in a parking lot with a large plume of smoke rising above. There have been no reports of casualties at this stage, police said. According to local media, one of the unexploded devices weighing 5 kilograms carried a message saying "Revenge from Tulkarm," referring to a recent Israeli military counterterrorism operation in the West Bank. In response to the incidents in Bat Yam, Defense Minister Israel Katz said he had instructed the military to increase the intensity of activity in the refugee camps in the West Bank, which I'm sure is going to make things so much better. I'm sure it's going to actually help, and you're not going to have more incidents like this. So yeah, important to mention both of those, events taking place today. Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next story. We're taking it to Spain. We have an update on the Rubiales Hermoso incident that took place at the Spanish win for we're talking sports ball stuff. Anyway, from CNN. Former Spanish soccer boss Luis Rubiales found guilty of kissing player Jenny Hermoso without consent. Former Royal Spanish Football Federation, or RFEF, chief Luis Rubiales has been found guilty of sexually assaulting Women's World Cup winner Jennifer Hermoso by kissing her on the lips during the on-field medal ceremony following Spain's victory in 2023. The Spanish High Court set a fine of $11,000 or $11,270 or 10,800 euros to be paid as $21 daily installments across 18 months, but acquitted former soccer boss Rubiales of coercion. Prosecutors have been seeking a 2.5 year prison sentence for the 47-year-old, but the ruling sees him avoid any jail time. The judge opted not to sentence Rubiales to prison time as he believed the assault, which he called a sporadic act, despite also deeming it always reprehensible, to be of lesser intensity according to Spanish law, as there was no intimidation or violence. Rubiales was also ordered to pay $3,100 or 3,000 euros in compensation to Hermoso, an amount the judge said was proportionate due to the moral damages that have been done and the fact that it had been seen by thousands of people in the stadium and thousands watching on television. The ruling also banned Rubiales from going within 200 meters or roughly 656 feet radius of Hermoso and from communicating with her for 1 year. I honestly would say for someone in Rubiales' position, that's probably the most damage like he's going to actually incur here. Like, I don't know. Do I think it's crazy that he didn't get the 2 year sentence? I don't know. I think the coercion thing is also kind of annoying because it definitely feels evident. Like, the pressure was on Hermoso to say she consented to that kiss immediately after it happened. Like, she gets to the locker room, it's like, yeah, we just fucking won. Like, hell fucking yeah, we just made this shit happen. And she's like coming down off of that trauma. And it's like, hey, you're good, right? You're good with that kiss. Like, it's all good. Like, I remember listening to that shit to the on the BBC like day to day, and like just the pressure campaign was very instantaneous. And it went as far as Rubiales' mother taking a fucking hunger strike, like in a church, because like her boy didn't do anything. He's being persecuted. Like, just the spectacle was so high. She got no peace for this shit. And to pretty much get $3,000 and a partial kind of semi-restraining order is kind of the best you're getting here, which is sad. When I feel like when you really actually think about it, like, there is the fact that yes, he's on the record for doing something criminal, like he did sexually assault you, but like the fact that it seems like he's just getting a slap on the wrist is I feel like you can say that's wild. So it is a closing of the story here, but I don't know, bittersweet. No, like, let's see here. I knew I was being kissed by my boss, and that should not happen in any social or work environment, Hermoso said on the first day of the trial in Madrid. I think it was a moment that tainted one of the happiest days of my life, she added. Until today, it seems that my life has been on standby. Honestly, I have not lived freely, the 34-year-old soccer star said. So yeah, there's that. I don't know if there's going to be any more stories or anything like that. I will keep you abreast, but I think that is the closing of maybe that chapter, but we'll see. Moving on to Reuters. IRS fires 6,000 employees as Trump slashes U.S. government. This motherfucker is hacking away. A tearful executive at the U.S. Internal Revenue Service told staffers on Thursday that about 6,000 employees would be fired, a person familiar with the matter said, in a move that would eliminate roughly 6% of the agency's workforce in the midst of a busy tax filing season. The cuts are part of Donald Trump's sweeping downsizing effort that has targeted bank regulators, forest workers, rocket scientists, and tens of thousands of other government employees. The effort is being led by tech billionaire Elon Musk, Trump's biggest campaign donor. Y'all, I wish I could had the time to take an aside just to talk about his new baby, alleged baby, I guess you could say, Ashley St. Clair. It's a whole thing. I think this is like his 13th kid or something like that, dude. It's wild, but that's technically neither here nor there. We really got to keep it political. We got to talk about the thing at hand, which is the IRS. It's in the middle of tax season, no less. Let's see here. What did I really want to pull? I think it's going to be about 6,700 jobs are being cut, from the layoffs. Though it is worth noting that Biden did try to boost the IRS, but essentially, at least it was told to us, at least that is the narrative, the line, that the IRS was being bolstered to go after the rich, to essentially say, hey, we are going to do our best to help, to keep y'all honest so that we get the money, so that we can distribute it to who? The rest of us, Americans. That is the whole part of the IRS. Look, I get it. It is super easy to be like kind of stoked to see the IRS like failing or flailing. But at the end of the day, any of these any of these departments, any of these agencies getting fucked up, getting fucked over, getting iced out, like, it does not help you. It hurts you. These things are made for us. And you can say, I'm not saying they're perfect. I don't want to sit here and, lay on the tracks for them or anything. But the idea of them is to work for us. Like, it should be strange to you that some guy who's not elected is telling you that, yeah, this shit's bad and we need to like fucking practically get rid of it. When really that's not what he means. They want to zero it out. And then what? Either if it doesn't serve their purpose, sure, leave it lie. But otherwise, you're going to fill it up with more loyalists so that no matter what, you're going to be surrounded by yes men. That is really what this looks like. It's really what this shit feels like. And they're willing to do whatever. Shit, they are firing people so fast and then being like, oh shit, sometimes we need this person. We need these groups of people. So hire back some of them. Actually beg them back for their job. Actually, we need them. Like, it's so messy. It's so sloppy. It's just too wild and it's too aggressive. But yet, here we are, hacking and whacking. Hacking that meat. Ugh. Let's see here. Is there anything else I really wanted to pull from this? I'm sure there's important things, but it is what it is. I don't know. I'm not a tax person or anything, but I know me personally, I always try to get my taxes in quick. I don't know if this is going to lead to any kind of delays on taxes. I don't want to be like that. I think that's speculation. But hey, do your thing. However you handle your shit. Anyway, let's move on. We have a couple more things to cover. Let's see here if it loads for me. If we get some load up. All right, load up. From ABC News, Kash Patel confirmed by Senate to be Trump's FBI director. The Senate on Thursday confirmed Kash Patel, President Donald Trump's choice to be FBI director. The final vote was 51-49. Two Republicans, Senators Suzanne, I don't know why I said it like that, Suzanne Collins and Lisa Murkowski, voted against Patel. Democrats were unanimous in their position. We've already talked about Patel a decent amount. Y'all know how I feel about him. I would say between Patel and Bondi, I think we're going to see the most scary actions out of. Obviously, that's just me just looking at it and saying what gives me the heebie-jeebies is like seeing who they are going to potentially round up, put pressure on, and then try to, get thrown in jail or turned into a criminal for whatever fucking reason because they oppose Trump or what have you. Like, these are the people that they're going to reflexively do it. I don't even think Trump will have to ask them on a lot of the shit, but we'll see. We got to see how things go. I'm just not optimistic at all. And not just about the two of them. It's really all of them all down the line. Like, and it's not like I know all of their bios or anything like that. We're really going to have to kind of to see as they go. And I mean, obviously they do have like a history and stuff like that. I could do the work, but I'm a busy guy. What can I say? Lots of trash to mash. Anyway, we'll move on from this. We have one more thing to cover. It's a bit of a happy trails. But yeah, let's go ahead and take our last break. Oh me, oh my. From the Associated Press, Senator Mitch McConnell won't seek re-election in 2026, ending long tenure as Republican power broker. All right. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell announced Thursday that he won't seek re-election next year, ending a decades-long tenure as a power broker who championed conservative causes but ultimately ceded ground to fierce GOP populism of President Donald Trump. Now, look, y'all, I thought that he was out of here already, but it turns out like, and what I meant by he's out of here already, that he had already announced that he wasn't going to run for re-election. Which also I wanna add, it's not till 2027, so we still have like 2 years of this shit. I thought when I initially had heard this and was going up to cover it, like he was maybe like retiring or something, like now, like right now. No, so he's gonna hang out and do his little thing. It's like, okay, dude, like I already knew this because it was already like more or less a strong assumed thing. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna be, leading the, majority anymore. Or the Senate anymore. So, like, whatever. You're out of here. You're done. You're on your way out. It's over. It's your last run. But yeah, it's crazy that he's about to be here for like a whole another 2 years, just dry rotting. Ew. Ew. Let's see here. But yeah, that's more or less what I wanted to leave it. Hold on, actually. But speaking of Kentucky, we got a Kentucky senator here, and that reminded me of the weather. See if I can pull it up real quick. Sorry, I know I should have had this on the ready, but I believe last time I had checked in terms of like the damage from the storm, I know I had said I was gonna give an update. Let's see if I can just find it here. Storm update. Okay, yeah. Kentucky reels from flooding that killed 12 as another storm will bring snow and cold. So yeah, things are kind of going a bit of bad to worse there. It's a lot of, just weather into weather. I know Kentucky's doing their best they can to just, get through. But yeah, I definitely wanted to mention that before I fully closed out there. I know it's a bit of a somber note. So, but yeah, definitely relevant. But yeah, that is where we're going to leave it for today. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me on any of the socials. I got a TikTok, I got a YouTube, I got a Spotify, and more. Hit those like buttons, leave cool comments. Sharing is caring. Those are all ways to help out. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.